Namaskar children. We have been studying about plant tissues in our previous classes. We have already completed meristematic tissue, simple permanent tissue as well as complex permanent tissue. Now today we are going to do the third type of permanent tissues, which is the protective tissue. Now children, what is the role, what do you get from the term protection? To save, to protect. You know children that the plants cannot move around. They are fixed. They are stationary or fixed to one place. So they cannot move around and protect themselves from the weather changes, from the heat, from the rain, from low temperature. So that is the reason there is a system. There is a set of cells which are present all over the plant body. So that category of tissue is known as the protective tissue. And again, as I told you, these are all differentiated from meristematic cells, only meristem. So they are permanent tissues. So we have done permanent tissues of three types: simple permanent, complex permanent and protective. Now children, protective tissue we have to study in two heads. The most important is the epidermis. Right from the very beginning, when the plant is very soft, very tender, in the early stages of plant, from that time only, the epidermis is present on all the parts of the plant, whether it is leaf, whether it is stem, whether it is root, everywhere the epidermis is present. We'll talk about cork later because cork develops later in plant. Okay, so let us focus our attention to epidermis as of now. Epidermis is the outermost layer of all the plant parts, as I told you, whether it is root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, everything. And it is usually single layered. Normally it is single layered, but in case of desert plant, the epidermis can be thick on the aerial parts. Aerial parts means like the stem and the leaves. Over there the epidermis is thick, and what could be the reason? Yes, the reason is again extra protection from the enemies like animals, and from protection or from loss of water, because excessive loss of water may occur by transpiration, which may lead to drying of plant, and again due to excessive drying the plant may not survive also. So it is thicker in desert plant. Now as I told you, it is present all over in the aerial parts. Aerial parts it means whatever is exposed to environment, whatever is not underground. Okay, so whatever parts of the plant are above the ground, they are having a waxy coating called cuticle. Now just like you have on your notebooks, when you bring the notebooks from the market, you have a thin plastic sheet that is actually pasted on the cover, and what do you call it? Lamination, right? It is somewhat like that only. So if you see a leaf, you pluck a leaf, and if you try to just rub it or you try to damage it, it is not going to happen very soon. This is because of this waxy coating called cuticle, and it provides triple function, three functions it has got. Number one, it prevents loss of water because of transpiration. Secondly, it prevents from mechanical injury. Injury may be because of some brushing of some animal, some wind, some rain. So all these injuries are protected, and it forms a waterproof layer, because of which the moisture cannot go in and it may not lead to infections. The third reason is the entry of parasites. The entry of bacteria and fungi is also protected because of this cuticle. So cuticle is a very, very important part of epidermis. And where is it present? On the aerial part. If you talk about the roots, epidermis is not, the cuticle is not present in the outermost covering of the roots. Okay, and epidermis is continuous, means it is, because it is just, when you cover your notebook, it is a continuous cover, isn't it? So similarly, the plant is protected throughout. So it is a continuous layer and it is made up of flat cells. And it does not have any intercellular space. Intercellular space देने का मतलब है that entry of microorganisms को allow करना, isn't it? So no intercellular space is there. The cells are flat and they are continuous. Now comes the important part. Stomata. Stomata is present at certain intervals. Now children, this is the diagram of epidermis. If you can see these barrel shaped cells of red color, these are showing epidermis. You can see cuticle as one coating on the top, and over here, suppose this is the leaf. The leaf is going to have such small pores throughout, on the upper as well as lower side, but on the lower side they are more numerous. Okay, so these pores are known as stomata. So the stomata are fine pores which are present in the epidermis of the leaf as well as soft herbaceous stem. And what is the function of stomata? It allows exchange of gases. Children, we know that green plants perform photosynthesis for preparing their food, that is glucose. Without carbon dioxide going in, the food is not going to be made, and in this process oxygen is given out, isn't it? So for photosynthesis, exchange of gases, and also for respiration, exchange of gases is important. So stomata, these are small minute pores through which gaseous exchange can take place. Also transpiration. Transpiration means excess water. Now you know children, plants are continuously absorbing water from the roots, from the soil, and they are supplying up through the xylem. You have studied the water and minerals, they are being supplied to the leaf. All the water is not being used for doing the photosynthesis. What is happening to the extra water? Now this extra water is removed from these pores and they are known as stomata. If we just zoom out, इसको थोड़ा सा हम मैग्नीफाई करते हैं, so ऊपर से it is going to look something like this. I have zoomed it. These are the pores, stomatal pores, and the stomatal pore is guarded by, it is surrounded by two cells which are known as the guard cells. These are the two guard cells, and you can see the shape is, what is the shape of guard cells? Easy to guess? It is kidney shaped, or we can also say bean shaped. So the guard cells are bean shaped and they are hiding, or they are just covering the pore called the stomatal pore. You can see that guard cells are having nucleus. They also have chloroplast. That means they perform photosynthesis also. And on the outer side, these red color cells are the same epidermal cells. So on the leaf, throughout there are epidermal cells which are broken at places which are known as stomata. Okay, so stomata is a key feature of epidermis. Now children, of course stomata are more numerous on the leaves and herbaceous stem, and they are not as numerous in the fruits and flowers. Now the second type of protective tissue is the cork. Now over here also there is a difference. Often a comparison is asked. Epidermis is composed of living cells while cork is composed of dead tissue. Now what happens, children, especially in case of older stems? Now older stems, what happens? As the plant is growing older, the outermost protective tissue, it does not remain as soft because secondary growth is also taking place. The plant is becoming thicker. The roots and stems, they are becoming, suppose this was in the beginning, and now the plant has become thicker. If you can see, the trunk has become wider. So what happens? Within this, the secondary meristem or the cambium starts playing its role. We have studied about the meristematic tissue. So cork is a result of the action of meristematic tissue which is present within the stem, and it forms new cells on the outer side. So what happens? The plant becomes thicker. Now these cork cells are dead. Now these are dead, and as I told you, they are protective tissue, so they get lignified and they get deposited with these gum-like substances called the suberin. So suberin is the gum-like substance which is depositing in these cells of cork, and because of continuous growth from within, what happens? The cork gets ruptured. This is the structure. If you see, there are many layers and new layers are being added from within. So what happens? The outermost layer gets broken. Now this suberin, the glue-like substance, what is the role of suberin? It does not allow the entry of germs and entry of moisture within the plant, because if the moisture enters, what is going to happen? The growth of fungus will take place. So the entry of germs, the entry of moisture is prevented by this substance suberin. On the outer side, this cork, because it is from the inner side, new cells are being added, they become broken at places. If you see, they get ruptured, and over here the exchange of gases is possible, and these places where it is ruptured, they are known as lenticels. Over here we have seen in epidermis, we saw that stomata are present, and over here lenticels are present which may allow the exchange of gases but not the loss of water through transpiration, which is the role of stomata. So just quick recap, the protective tissue is present throughout the plant. In the young soft parts, it is the epidermis. Throughout, whether it is root, stem, leaf, and the aerial parts, they are covered with cuticle, which is a waxy coating, and it prevents the loss of water, action of parasites and injury. And this cuticle becomes more thick in case of desert plant, and there it prevents loss of water, and it is really very, very thick. Now over here I would just like to mention, we have seen the structure of epidermis also. We have seen the role of stomata in the exchange of gases and in transpiration. In case of roots, if we see the epidermal cells, they are having these root hairs which are very, very thin, single cells only. They have got projections, and what do these root hairs do? They increase the surface area of absorption of water. So over here, in case of roots, the epidermis is performing the function of absorption of water. We studied about cork, which is present in older stem. It is formed by the secondary meristem and it forms a thick layer of protection, and the main substance which makes it impervious and waterproof is the suberin. So I will request you to just see the comparison of both the types of protective tissue and just practice them well. Thank you.